Why my cat spends more time at my neighbours. My cat spends his time at the neighbours. How to solve the problem. The cat is a very autonomous pet who, in the eyes of his masters, can pass for an ingrate, totally disconnected from his foster family, insensitive to the trouble his master goes to in order to make him feel good, to make sure that he doesn't lack anything. This disarray manifests itself, for example, when the cat spends his time at the neighbours. Fortunately, there are solutions to avoid this type of situation. Teach your cat to respect boundaries from a young age. The kitten is the one who is most easily taught to go out and respect property boundaries. This can be useful to prevent them from running off into the next garden, especially if the neighbours do not tolerate this type of eruption. Cats are curious animals, of course, but it is possible to channel them by getting them used to going out with their owners, who can initially keep them on a leash with a collar or a harness, which is even better. Of course, despite this education, you can never prevent your cat from exploring the neighborhood. You should also be careful not to be too strict, as some cats do not take kindly to being led around, and this can lead to behavioral problems. You should educate your pet gently and consistently. Have your cat sterilized so that it doesn't go to the neighbor's house. If the neighboring household has a cat, there is a good chance that a tomcat will spend most of its time there. The best solution is therefore to have it sterilized. But this is also essential if it is a cat and the neighbors have a male cat. Spaying is highly recommended to limit the risk of straying. It can sometimes be enough to keep your cat at home and see that it no longer spends its time at the neighbors. We think it is important to remember that sterilization also allows for better control of births. It also protects the health of these pets. Indeed, a neutered male cat or a spayed female cat has less risk of suffering hormonal disturbances, of developing a tumor or a cancer, in particular of the genitals and the udders, of being contaminated by the feline 5 responsible for AIDS or by the leukosis virus, FALV, and of fighting with other cats. It is also important to know that neutered males are much less likely to mark their territory with urine markings than whole cats. Finally, they are also much calmer and less prone to behavioral problems. Spend more time with your cat so that he doesn't wander off. No matter how well you educate your cat and have it spayed or neutered, if, despite all these precautions, it seems to be attracted to the neighbor's property, or to the neighbors themselves, you may need to reconsider. The main questions to ask yourself are, for example, does my cat like the food I give him? Is my cat getting enough to eat? Am I being too strict with my cat? Am I being present enough with my cat? It is important to know that if the kitty prefers to eat at the neighbor's house, it may take up permanent residence there. Similarly, if he is pampered there, if the neighbors play with him while his master is almost always absent or busy with something else, this may explain his desire to move away. He is certainly better off elsewhere than at home, as he is an animal that does not really like solitude. If you change his food gradually or radically change his attitude towards him by being closer to him, more complicit, more cuddly, there is a good chance that he will gradually return and space out his visits to the neighbors. A cat doesn't need much to feel good and appreciate the environment of its owners. He must feel loved and be given quality food, of course, but which gives him satisfaction in terms of taste. Finally, if his owners are only present in the evening, it may be wise to adopt a second cat so that the little felines can share games and hunting parties. This can be the key to keeping the kitty from getting bored.